Hello and welcome to cookingflavors.com. For today's recipe, we look at the preparation of a very healthy and nutritious Ragi Roti or Ragi Adai, which is made with drumstick leaves. So Ragi Murungakirai Roti. And here are the list of ingredients that are required for this. In a bowl, I've taken 1 cup of ragi flour. This is plain ragi flour. I'm not going to fry it or roast it or anything. Just added it like that. And along with this, I'm adding the required salt, which is required for the ragi flour. Only if you add salt with the flour, it will mix well with the flour nicely. Now, for 1 cup of ragi flour, you can take up to 3/4 or 1 cup of drumstick leaves. I've washed these leaves nicely. I've included the slender and thin stems along with the leaves. If you don't want them, you can avoid them. And since my leaves are small, I'm going to add them as whole. But if you want, you can also chop them finely and add them. We'll set that aside. Now, in a kadai or a skillet, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of oil. We'll wait for the oil to get hot nicely and then we'll do the seasoning. In the meantime, let me show you. I've taken about 8 to 10 pieces of a coconut. I've taken the skin out and just made it into nice thin slices. If you want, you can also add a grated coconut, but if you add these pieces, when you eat it with the adai, it will taste nice. Now, once the oil is hot, I'm adding in a teaspoon of mustard seeds and a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Once they splutter, I'm adding in a little bit of urad dal. Urad dal is totally optional, you can avoid it, but otherwise, along with urad dal, you can also add chana dal. Now I'm adding in just 1 chili, which I have crushed roughly. Adjust chili according to the spice level that you require. I'm adding finely chopped ginger. Ginger is also optional. Along with ginger, you can also add pieces of garlic if you wish to. Now we'll fry them nicely. And now I'm adding in about 8 to 10 small onions, that is a sambar vangayam. I've cut them finely and adding in here. Sambar vangayam or the small onions will give them the best taste and flavor. But if you don't have them, you can add the regular onions. Now, along with that, I'm adding in the drumstick leaves and I've added a little bit of salt while frying the onions also. We need to fry this well till the raw flavor of the drumstick leaves go away. It's just like cooking your greens. If you feel it and you taste it in your mouth, you will know that the raw flavor has gone completely. Don't by any chance add the drumstick leaves raw. You always have to fry them nicely and then only add them. We'll wait for this to get done. Now our seasoning and the drumstick leaves mixture is ready. We'll transfer them into the ragi flour. Transfer them while it's hot because the moisture content from the drumstick leaves while it's hot itself will enable you to mix the ragi flour nicely, so that you will need less water while mixing the flour or the dough. I've added them into the flour directly when it's hot, and along with that I'm adding the coconut pieces also. Raw, you don't have to fry the coconut pieces, just raw you can add them. Now it'll be very hot, so be careful. I'm mixing it with my hand. If you see, as I'm mixing it when it's hot itself, it's combining as one dough. That's why I said add it when it's nice and hot. In the meantime, get some hot water ready to mix the dough. Now I'm adding in just the required amount of hot water. The reason why we are adding hot water is because the ragi flour is plain, it's raw, we've not roasted them. So if you add hot water, a little bit of the cooking of the ragi flour will be done here itself. When you mix the dough, make sure it's a little wet and it is a little watery, because if it's going to be too dry and when you're going to pat the roti or the adai, there will be cracks in it. Now I'm going to make this adai on banana leaves. If you don't have plantain leaves or banana leaves, you can also use a polythene bag or a Ziploc bag. Now I've smeared or greased the leaves with some oil, and I'm going to grease my hands also with oil. Alternatively, you can also dip your hands in water, but each time if you dip your hands in water, the flour or the dough will become very watery. So oil is the best option. Now I'm taking small sized balls or dumplings and I'm going to make the adai. This totally depends on whatever size you want. We'll gently press it to whatever size we want, and then we'll invert it onto the tawa. In the meantime, my tawa is getting hot. You can invert it directly onto the tawa, or you can transfer it into your hand and then put it on the tawa, or you can directly make the adai on the tawa itself. So it depends on your experience and your preference. So now I'm inverting the leaf onto the tawa directly, and I'm slowly pulling it off. So it's very important you grease your leaf so that it comes off nice and clean. Now this ragi roti will take a minimum of 4 to 5 minutes on each side, so you have to be really patient to get it done. That's why I said if you add hot water, here the cooking time will be a little lesser. Now see, it's done on one side. Now we have to do it on the other side. You can add a few drops of oil if you wish to around the adai. Now our ragi adai or roti is cooked on both sides, and now our ragi roti is ready. Now I'll show you another method. See, I've dipped my hand with a little bit of water and greased some oil. I'm transferring it from the leaf onto my hands and then onto the tawa. So whichever method is convenient for you, follow that. For today, for 1 cup of ragi flour and this size adai, I got about 7 to 8 adai. So I hope you enjoyed this healthy and nutritious breakfast or an evening snack recipe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and post in your comments and suggestions. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and share it with your friends. If you are new to our channel, welcome and happy cooking. Also subscribe to our very new Tamil channel, Samayal Suvai. Till we see you again with another new and interesting recipe. Thank you and happy cooking.